just call someone, anyone. But I'm being upfront. You may be shit at selling. Who gives a fuck? Just evil bastards and they're just cruel. Then shut the fuck up. I have no sympathy for salespeople.
Fucking post that you're an outsourced agent.
I get the feeling I've upset you or you're angry with me. What have I done? If you want, I don't mind leaving. It's up to you. What do you want to do? You can edit that out. Actually, edit that out. I don't want to say that. I'm going to be honest with you. This is actually a cold call. Would you like to?
But the truth of the matter is, he's very good at what he does.
Yeah,
So,
their biggest fear is rejection, and so people who fear rejection are incapable of going for no.
It's time wasters, tire kickers. It's people with no authority or money.
We'll just let him know it's Benjamin and see if he'll take the call. If not, fine.
Okay, just a second.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Benjamin, the UK's most hated sales trainer.
Benjamin Dennehy.
Hello.
It's good to see you.
It's good to be back with you guys.
Yeah, both of us this time.
Both of you. This is the first we were together in the same. Actually, this is the first time the three of us have ever been in the same room.
We've never ever done anything.
We've met independently, but never.
You've met independently.
Never had a menage a trois.
Who's your favourite?
Well, I think you're both dicks, so I equally like you. Therefore,
I think people are calling it a throuple.
Thruple.
A three-way
There was
couple.
a post the other day about who's the best trio, and people were tagging the three of us, even though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I missed.
People were tagging the
I
three of us.
missed all of that.
Saying
How-
that we're
was
like a
that really?
dream
I
team.
didn't, that didn't pop up in my feed at all.
Which is mad because obviously we're not really affiliated professionally, really, in any
No,
in
it's
any
fascinating.
way. So we always start the podcast up the same way. We'll start it off the same way
Let's
here.
do it.
So who are you and what problem do you solve?
So, if you most people are familiar with me, but I'm known as the UK's most hated sales trainer. And what do I fix? I turn shitty loser salespeople into professional salespeople with a very low success rate, because most people in sales are losers with no intention of ever not being a loser. So about 20% of people I work with really excel at what I teach. The other 80% take the bits that they like, which is fine. But it's like going to the gym and only doing exercises that don't make you feel pain. What's the fucking point, yeah?
I like that.
But, so if you want to grow, you have to feel pain, you have to be uncomfortable, you have to go outside of your comfort zone. So I'm up front, everyone that hires me, I tell them that. I say, you do realise that 80% of your guys aren't going to do this. But anyone in business, they all know it's a Pareto law, isn't it? It's 80-20. And they know that 20% of their people achieve the most. If we can make the 20% better, we're quids in still.
Yeah.
So I'm up front with everyone about what I do. Most people don't want to do, and you know this, most people don't even want to be in sales. No one's here by choice. I didn't want to be a fucking salesman.
No.
I needed a job. It's the only reason I'm here. Yeah, 20 years later, I still can't get out. It's like a maze.
And typically, if you're watching this and you're running a business with salespeople,
Yes.
what are the symptoms of having problems with salespeople? What are the things, the tangibles?
Well, it's what you'll be noticing, and you'll spend a lot of time justifying their behaviour. And people that hire salespeople justify poor sales behaviour because, one, they hired them. And if you admit that they suck, then you have to admit that you didn't know what you were doing in the first place. So there's a lot of resistance at times. So a lot of excuses can be listened to. But you'll have salespeople, you're frustrated because they spend most of their time farting about on LinkedIn, social messaging, trying all these different ways of reaching out to people other than picking up the phone. Or when they finally pick up the phone, I swear, every time I go into a company, I say, why don't we hit the phones in? I just want to hear what you like. Do you know how long it takes from the moment you say that to someone to actually make the first call? Because by the time they slowly walk to their desk, sit down, turn on the computer, load up the CRM, then they start flicking through. No, can't call them. Can't call them. No, can't call them. And this can go on for 15 minutes, and for fuck's sake, just call someone, anyone. I'm not after a meeting, I just want to hear you. So there's a real reluctance to do it. And then when they finally do it, they get stopped by gatekeepers. They blame the data, the numbers are wrong, the contacts are wrong, can't get past the gatekeeper. Or I get through to people, they're not interested. They say, send me an email. Our competitors have all this cool collateral, so can we create really cool shit to send? Anything to avoid having a conversation. Yeah? And then maybe they get in front of people. But then you spend your life hoping and quoting. Yeah? And you know that your sales guys, you know a sales meeting's gone badly when they come back, you go, how was it? That was good. Why was it good? Well, they liked us. They asked all the right questions. They're really very interested. So what's the next step? Well, I now have to go away and put together a proposal or a quote or a document for them. I call it document your stupidity. Yeah. And then we got to send it. And then what? Then we wait. What's their budget? I'm not sure, but I think it's around X. How are they going to make the decision? I think. And any time you hear the word I think come out of anybody's mouth, what they're saying is I have no fucking clue, so I'm going to make an educated guess. So you think, what the fuck were you doing for the last 90 minutes? Getting your emotional needs met, because at least you get to go home tonight and say, look, sweetheart, I haven't sold anything. The kids aren't going to eat this week. But I tell you what, they liked me. They really like me. Yeah. So kudos. Yeah. So most are in sales just to get their own needs met. It's never about the money, which is weird, right? They say it's about the money, but actually it's about the validation. It's about getting people say to them, I really like your stuff. Yeah. You're really cool. I've enjoyed meeting you. Don't have anything for you now, but you got your foot in the door. And they live on this hope. Yeah. So, so you'll be experiencing that. Quotes that go nowhere, proposals that go nowhere, meetings that get dragged out. Suddenly a decision that was going to happen doesn't happen. And it's always the salesperson's fault for failing to do their job, which is disqualify. So, so if you're experiencing that, I may be able to help. Or some companies are beyond help. You're just screwed. You just got to live with it. You're terminally fucked.
I love it.
Yeah, I know. I'm up front. This is why I don't know why people hire me, but yeah,
that's what you want. So this is what we love: people that speak the truth. I feel like one thing that salespeople and sales leaders just lack is that accountability. Even if it's not your fault, right? And your sales leader has given you a shitty list of data, it's still your responsibility. Yeah. Like it's on you. For salespeople listening that are like, I want to step up and I want to take a bit more accountability, what should they be doing? Well, it's simple. So I get asked, I get emails all the time, where do you buy your data? I don't buy data because I'm not an idiot. The only thing I'd say about buying data, the only thing data companies tend to get right is the phone number, because that's probably the most publicly easiest thing to figure out. Everything else is scraped from public documents. So you get someone's uncle, an aunt, director, because most companies' house data is full of all these people that have nothing to do with the day-to-day running of a business. So what I did when I was setting out to develop my database was every day for half an hour to 45 minutes, the goal was I would put 10 new contacts into my spreadsheet. I didn't even use a CRM system. I mean, there's no point to a CRM system. Yeah. And then I would get the phone number and the job title. And that'd take Google. So you want to get in front of the marketing director for, I don't know, Kit Kat. Google marketing director Kit Kat and you'll get a name. Now, the name could be old. Who gives a fuck? You've now got a name. See, now you can phone up and ask for that person. They go, oh, he no longer works here. And then I use my techniques. Go, get the hell out of here. No, surely he can't be. No, he left. When did he leave? 6 months ago. I go, well, who the hell placed him? It must have been Barry then. No, you get the name wrong. Yeah. And then they correct you and they give you the new name. Now I've got a name. Every day I would do that. And I could find 10 names. You do that 5 days a week, you now got 50 validated contacts. At the end of month one, you have 200. You only need 200 because you're never going to talk to 200 decision makers in any given month. So you got enough to be phoning through, and whenever I'd start to deplete it, I'd do the exercise again. And that is how I did it. I didn't need to spend loads of money on data. I didn't need a fancy CRM system. I need your name, your job title, and your phone number. And if you said fuck off, you went red.
Money on data.
I know. It's just.
That's what I'm learning here.
No, think about it. If you've got a sales team of 10 people and every one of them are doing this every day, how much data are you going to have validated? So you don't need to spend money, but there's people, I've got to spend money on this, got to do it. No, you've got lazy salespeople. I swear to God, I don't know what the average salesperson does for 8 hours a day because I do fuck all and I work quite hard. So I don't know what people who don't work hard, and I know they don't work hard, what are they doing all day? What the hell are you doing all day? How many calls you made today? 40. 40, but you've been here 8 hours. How many of them did you speak to? Well, no, I didn't speak to 40 people. How many did you talk about? 10. That take 10. How long was the conversation? About 3 minutes. That's half an hour of the day spent talking. What have you been doing? Well, researching. Researching what? And it infuriates me. So they shouldn't be paid a salary. They should be paid a commission. Pay them for every contact they stick into the thing. Make them work for their money. Yeah, but paying them to come breathe your air and drink your coffee and eat your cereal, it's pointless.
No.
Anyway, if you're watching this and you're a salesman, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're our team and you're watching this, I'm sorry for the
Yeah.
changes.
The changes are coming.
The data's going.
Changes coming.
Have you? Me and Zach were talking about this yesterday when we were driving. There's like a bit of a change coming, like with. Like, you know, ages ago there was like Bitcoin and dropshipping and all of those things. One of the things we're noticing at the moment is a lot of young people are getting into like what we do, like a lead generation business or like a social marketing agency. Young people are getting like excited and being like, actually, because of the hype around sales is one of the skills that I want to get while I'm young because I know it's going to help me. So some people are switched on. Have you seen like a surge in young people like reaching out to you or watching your stuff?
I do. I get a lot of messages from young people, which is flattering in many ways, but I'm not a very caring guy. So, so I feel kind of bad. But I get loads of people say, can I come and work for you for free? And it's like, that's still not sweetening the deal because I don't really want to work with salespeople. But yes, a lot of young people come to me for advice and I give them advice. And I say to them what I say to anyone else. You have to invest in yourself. Sales isn't, you can learn it on the job, but you'll be learning from people that are probably going to teach you poorly. And I always point out, I qualified as a barrister. Most people know this. It took me 5 years to do that. 5 years of study. And then you're a junior. It's the same for an accountant, 4 years study, then you're a junior. To be a doctor, 7 years study, then you're a junior. All these people had to spend years off their own bat with their own money learning the fundamentals of their trade. But to be a sales professional, it's like 3 days product knowledge, a new suit, a CRM system, and you are one. And it's like, then they wonder why they suck and why they fail. But they don't want to spend money on themselves because, well, no, sales is just, you just get in front of people and it'll be fine. Of course. You go up to 10 women in one night and say, sleep with me. One of them's bound to say yes. Doesn't make you a Lothario.
Hit it here first.
We've all been there, right? Anyone can play the numbers game. But you wouldn't hire a lawyer and say, so why do you win cases? He goes, I don't know. It's just my good looks. People love me in a wig. Jury find my personality comfortable. No. Why are you good? Do you know how many of these things I've done? I know when to ask a question, when not to ask a question. I know when to sit down, when not to sit down. I know when to look at a jury, when to challenge a bit. I know what I'm doing. Nothing happens by chance. It's choreographed. Same with a surgeon. I know every cut, every incision. I can't open a human body and say, oh my God, what the hell is this? Nothing can shock or surprise me because I'm ready. Salespeople aren't like that. They get out there and they wing it and they're proud of the fact that they just make it up as they go along.
I've got one for you, though, that you told me about once that did shock you.
Which one was this?
When you spoke to that lady. And
You have to remind me. I've spoken to so many people.
There's a big pause.
So many ladies in my life.
There was a big pause, and she said, how big's your dick?
Oh, yes.
You must not have heard that 10 times.
Oh, yeah, no, that is true. Yes. There was that one occasion where that lady said, how big's your cock? And it's like, that's a good question. What are you hoping I'm going to say? Because I don't know how big your is. Got to give the right answer, gents.
Yeah, exactly. I think you said you were telling me you said something like depends what measurement system you
Yeah,
use, something like that.
Yeah. It's a long. That's probably the only time I've genuinely almost been lost for words. But other than that, no.
We had one the other day where one of our new guys rang someone, and he did I'll be honest, it's a sales call, and he said, "Is it about sex?" And then he got off the phone afterwards, and he dealt with it in quite a funny way. But he was like, "What are you supposed to say when someone says that? Like, it's not in the books."
We're not prepared for that one.
But I suppose that leads on to there's a weird thing that we've noticed, and it's almost like an untrainable skill. I'm sure you've seen it as well. It's sort of the ability to kind of roll with the punches and think on the fly.
Yes.
So you've got this process in your head, and the call will go perfectly if it fits perfectly into these steps.
Yeah. So as I say, selling is like a West End show played by a psychiatrist. You've got to be an actor. Good actors can improv. Mm-hmm. They can add a line that adds to the scene. Mm-hmm. So they have the ability to do that. Not a lot of actors can't do that. So this is where you get good actors, bad actors, and crap actors. And some will never get to the heights that they want, even though they believe they should, because they don't have that natural ability to think on their feet and think improvly. Now, can you learn this? I think most things can be learned. But you've just got to want to learn and you've got to want to put in the effort. Mm-hmm. And with prospecting, for instance, this is why I so push prospecting. I don't mind you emailing. People seem to think I hate all forms of outreach unless it's cold calling. It's like, no, I'm not an idiot. They all work. The only difference with cold calling is it's the only one where you're dealing with real people in real time and real reactions and real emotion. That's the only place you can learn to get better. Hiding behind a keyboard where you got time to think about your response and modify it doesn't enable you to think on the spot. So yes, the ability to think quickly is important. And I've always had that naturally. So I assume it can be learned. I assume, but I believe it can if you really want. I could be a doctor if I really wanted to, but I don't because I hate people.
Yeah.
I don't want to help them. Well, not to that extent.
Yeah, we had like a silly example that I could give of like not being able to think on the fly. So we're a outsourced sales agency, right?
Yeah.
And we had a guy who was on the phone.
Yeah.
And he got asked, "Is this a recruitment call?" Obvious question.
Yeah.
And he
Lost
his phone's off, just like, I've not been asked that before.
Yeah.
But logically, you know the answer to that. Like if someone in the pub said to you, "Do you work for a recruitment agency?" You'd
Yes
say
or
no.
no.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
but just couldn't because it wasn't in the process.
This is why it can be learned, because the thing that I teach and that you guys know is that you should always answer every question with a question. So once you've programmed your brain that it doesn't have to answer a question, its reaction then is, well, what do I say in response to this question? So if someone says, "Is this about recruitment?" I would say, well, if I told you it was, would you still hang up? I haven't said it is or isn't. I want to find out what their attitude would be if the answer was yes or no.
Yes.
And if they say, well, yes, I would, fair enough, I won't say that. It's about helping people find jobs. Yeah? And this is stuff I can do on the spot. I can make this up. I remember one time, this is a true story, I was working with a recruitment agency, funnily enough, and I was doing cold calling in front of them. And I get through and this gatekeeper answers. And sometimes you meet really tough gatekeepers. They all sound like your mum. Slightly pissed off middle-aged woman, don't they? Yeah, I get through to this woman and I said, "Can I speak with Richard, thanks?" And she goes to me, "You mean Mr. Wilson?" Now, you've got a split second to deal with this. And I said, "Good grief, old Wilkie, I haven't called him that since college." And because I was so familiar in the way that I did it, yes, Mr. Wilson, tell Mr. Wilson it's Benjamin. Actually put me through. Yeah? So it's the ability so quickly to not be startled. That is something I could not always do. I had to master that by realizing that I had to come back quickly with a question. And so you can form questions quickly if you practice the art. So in the supermarket, I do it. You know, you go up to the checkout. If you're standing at a checkout, you don't have anything in your hands, and you've got these groceries on the conveyor belt, what's the first question they ask you?
Do you need any help?
Do you need in bags? Now, the instant response to everyone is yes. I always scratch my head, I look down, I go, "Do you think I need one?" And then they'll say, "Yeah." I go, "How many?" And I go, "I'd start with 2. I go, "Can I have 3? That's 3 questions in a row. I had a client, accountant, another true story. He did that. He decided, "I got to do this." Because I said, if you can't do this under pressure, it won't be any good. So you need to practice it everywhere where there is no pressure. And so he said, he's in the supermarket. And this is why I love doing stuff in the real world, because you never know what's going to happen. And he's at the checkout, and the person behind the counter said, "Do you need a bag?" And he said, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it." He goes, "Do you think I need one?" And he said, the guy looked at him dead in the eyes and said, "Well, unless you can juggle." And he said he froze. He said, he goes, I just didn't know what to do.
Mate.
And instantly, as soon as he said it to me, I said, I knew exactly. I would have said, "Why do I look like a clown?" Yes, it's a question. Yeah, it's just come back with it. Yeah. So it takes time to develop this technique. But if you practice it all the time, just like anything, it becomes a habit. Once something becomes a habit, it's now a behavior. Now, I still get caught out because when you're emotionally involved in whatever you're talking about, you do tend to answer questions more. So you have to control your emotions. So when it's me at home with my family or with my friends, I answer questions. They always catch, you answered a question. It's like, for fuck's sake, I'm not on 24/7. You know? I'm not trying to sell you anything. We're hanging out, having a chat. I'm allowed to answer a question. Yeah, so they try that. It's like, no, I have time off. But when I need it, it's there. And I switch it on. Yeah. And when I go to work, it's switched on. And when I come home, I can switch it off. But I got a 9-year-old daughter who does it all the time. It's brutal. You ask your daughter, "How's your day at school?" She goes, "What do you think it was like?"
I've trained
I've trained you too well. So I actually have to sit down with her and say, "Look, I'm going to ask you a question, and this is a dag question. You have to give me an answer."
Oh, that's good.
I have to tell her. I said, "You have to give me an answer to this." Every other time you can do the stuff I teach you, but there are certain times when I ask a question, I do need an answer to it because I'm still your dad. We're not business colleagues.
I like it. It's one of those like salespeople. We see it all the time when we do training or we go into companies. Are just like lazy in that sense of like it's the case of until it's 9:01 on a Monday morning, I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah.
It's like, but like you say, you should be practicing at all times. I want to talk to you about outsourcing. Obviously,
Okay.
we're an outsourcing agency.
Yes.
We follow very similar styles. We're big on the Socratic question, to being upfront and honest and
Yeah.
humorous and all those different things. So we're kind of from the same rule there. But outsourcing gets a bad name, and I'd give it a bad name. as well.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, I think so.
Deservedly
Yeah.
so, yes. Because most outsourcing, well, let me put it this. Selling outbound lead generation is like selling heroin to drug addicts. Everyone wants it because everyone hates prospecting, and you hire people that can't prospect, or you start a business you can't so it's not hard to convince people, no, and then you can make it sound really sexy. What we're going to do is in the first 90 days we're going to develop an email campaign, we're going to develop this, and you can make it sound so wonderful. And for someone that has no idea what they're doing, I think, fuck, this is great. And then you listen to their guys on the phone and they're awful because they never phoned you. Most of them approach you via email, ironically. Yeah. So they use email to sell in their outbound sales courses. And so you should judge them on how that conversation goes. And most of those conversations are awful, but they don't pick up on it. It's just, I'm so grateful they're doing something I don't want to do. Yeah. So if he's able to phone me, then yeah, he'll be able to do it for me. But they can't, and I know this because I started in a lead generation company. I started recruitment and then ended up in a lead generation, and the whole thing was just ram a meeting down someone's throat, and because you were paid by the meeting. So if you're paid by the meeting, if you're paid for the result, human beings are very good at hitting target if they have to. Yeah. So if you tell someone you've got to get 4 meetings, I'll get 4 meetings a month, but I'll get any meeting with anyone. And then the client comes back and they say, that was a terrible meeting. They were completely wrong. Sorry, occasionally it happens, yeah? And after 3 months, stumping up, I don't know, these places charge, what, $5,000 a month, some of them, yeah? So after £15,000, maybe 8 meetings, no business, you start to think, this is a waste of money. And it is, because you don't know what you're looking. If you have to outsource your prospecting, how the hell can you find someone good at it if you don't even know how to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're screwed. So you're at their mercy, and they're very good at selling in the service. It's easy to sell in. Yeah, but it's hard to deliver it. I know you guys are good. You're probably the only one that I've ever suggested people ever talk to, because I know you do my stuff. That's why. So I'm biased like that. But most of them are awful, but they spin a very good game. But I would say sit in there and listen to their calls and ask yourself, close your eyes, listen to the call and think, would I meet with them? And if the answer is no, that's what they're going to be like. And remember this, and I know that the outreach that they're going to give to you to connect with you is going to be the absolute best that they can do. Because if they're not losing their absolute best outreach to get to you, then what are they doing? So, and most of those outreaches are awful. And they sound like every other shitty salesman. We help companies improve their balance sheet by getting them in front of people. We do it and they spew the same features, advantages that your shitty salesman's trying to do on the phones. If they sound just like your guy with different substance, don't hire them. Which means now about 99% of them in the UK are useless if you are listening to this. Except for these guys.
Thank you.
And if you do use and mention my name, because I get a kickback.
Yeah, Benjamin Dennehy,
Yeah,
23. That's the code.
That's the
That's the
discount
code. I get a kickback. But yeah, and they are terrible. And I know so many of them. And every MD, one of the first things I say is, don't hire me. I say, there's a lot of easy ways to make more money than training your salespeople, because frankly, most of them don't want to be here and most of them aren't going to change. I said, why don't you outsource? And the answer is always that we've done it. It's terrible. And what annoys me too is they would sit in front of people and it'd say, our clients have won this, they've won that, you know, we help you win. They don't help you win business. They put you in front of people, but they don't do the sales meeting. And this is the other thing. If you've got shitty salespeople, good meetings are irrelevant.
Yeah.
Absolutely pointless. There's no point. Yeah, and I always say this. So when I used to do prospecting, because I would do it all the time, I'd say, look, the deal is this. I don't win business. If you work with me, I'm not going to say you're going to pick up a brief. I said, I can't guarantee that, because you could be shit when you're in front of people. If I get you in front of the people you say you want to be in front of, I've done my job. What happens after that, that's up to you. Some people didn't like that. No, I wanted you to tell me we're going to make money if you... Well, then hire one of the liars. It's going to tell you that.
Be pissed off 3 months later.
There's dime a dozen. But I'm being up front. I'm only going to get you in front of them. You may be shit at selling. Are you shit at selling? No, we're pretty good. So why do you need me then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not good at selling. We just need more meetings. Yeah, doing more of the same crap doesn't make you better. So I'm quite
Insanity.
blunt on this because, yeah.
Yeah, we are
have
too.
to be. You
You've
have
got
to be. You
Like,
have to be.
And we're when it comes to expectations, getting it up front, it's like what can we be marked on? We can get you in front of people, but we're not going to sell, like you say. While the emotions running high, then because we get it all the time, like people slag off outsourcing. It's like, you know what? I agree. We'll slag off outsourcing as well because 99% of shit. What do you say to people that say sales trainers don't sell?
Yeah, or those that do those that can't teach.
Yeah.
That's an expression. I looked into the history of that. It's actually George Bernard Shaw came up with that expression, and it was some series based in, I think, like 1906 or something. And it seems that George Bernard Shaw was of the opinion that people who become teachers have not specialised or qualified in a particular field. But that's absolute bollocks. I spent 5 years at law school. Every one of my law lecturers were practicing lawyers. How can you teach law if you're not actually a lawyer?
Yeah.
How do you teach medicine if you're not a doctor? So the idea that those that do whatever it is, it's not true. And I have to make money. I sell everything that I do. In fact, it's harder for me, and I point this out because I'm so out there, and I say you should do this and you should do that and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. I'm acutely aware in the world of modern technology that I'm being recorded the whole time. So I literally have to do everything that I teach. And times I don't want to do it because it sucks, it's hard, but I do it. And so that is why people keep giving me money. It's because not only do I do what I say what I do. There are a lot of academic trainers. So it's not hard to buy a franchise. Yeah, you've been in sales for 20 years. You decide, I want to be my own boss. So you go to there's so many different franchises out there. And you just buy into the franchise and they give you all the material and all the kit. It's paid by numbers. But it's like giving an actor a script and saying, okay, have you ever been an actor? No, well, you don't need any skills. You just need to follow the script.
Yeah.
It doesn't work because the difference between a good actor and a great actor is a great actor delivers it. They know it inside out, so they're able to work with it. So I get clients say, I've worked with these franchise operations, and they go, they can teach you, but they can't do it. So they can explain to you what you should do. And they go, okay, well, can you demonstrate in my world? Well, no, you're going to have to make it. And they're unable, whereas I can be plonked into a company and I can straight away start doing it with their product knowledge and with all their information. There's nothing changes. But yeah, I get it all the time. And there are people that absolutely hate it. And I know they're coming from a place of frustration because their business isn't doing as well. And they get annoyed at, seems like someone who does nothing for a living. Does well, and it's I do work hard. It doesn't look like it, but I do everything. I do the marketing, the prospecting, I do the branding, I do all the content, I do all the scripting. I then have to sell, I then have to deliver. I do the whole lot. Everything. I don't have any help. Haven't had any help. Don't want any help. Don't trust anyone else to do this. I'm a total control freak, but I know my stuff inside out. So it irks me when I get that. But then part of me thinks, no, actually, the only reason they're lashing out is because they are not doing well. So I can take comfort in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's also a big thing of, we've definitely seen it before, people who think they know your stuff, they will not deliver it like a charismatic Kiwi. They'll deliver it like middle-class teacher from Surrey.
Yes.
And the tonality is completely lost. And I don't get why it doesn't work. It works for Benjamin.
Yeah.
Because there's something in the delivery and the tonality
it
that
is.
if you get it wrong, it's just going to completely fall
It's like, say, go to any profession. There are great lawyers, crap lawyers. Great surgeons, not so great surgeons, because it's all varying degrees and skill within a profession. Why aren't all lawyers in our cases King's Counsel? King Counsel's an honorary title for being recognised as really good. Well, not everyone gets that. Well, because you've got to be really good. But he's a lawyer. Yeah, but he's not as good as that guy. That guy consistently wins. Why does he win? Well, it must be his winning person. No, he's better at the skills. But yes, there's a bit about him when he gets in there, he can do the theatrics. He can make jury. He's got a way of delivering. And that is part of it. Yeah, so everything is in the delivery. It's not, anyone can stand up and read off, this is how to sell. Easy. But can you do it?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you are right. There are degrees. And so there are good sales trainers, average sales trainers, shit sales trainers. And sometimes you end up picking the shit one, probably because they're cheap.
Yeah.
It's funny. I had a sales trainer contact me last year, sent me an email, said, Benjamin, I have a question. How do you keep filling such expensive sales training courses? And I responded with, well, I think you've answered your own question in your question. And he comes, what does that mean? I go, the fact that you think £800 is a lot of money means you should not be in sales. And this is fundamental, your money concept. If you think what you sell is expensive, then why the fuck are you selling it? Yeah. And so, you meet snobs in jewellery stores. So you probably can't afford half of this, yet you're behaving like a snob. Yeah. But I get it, right? Because really rich people like the snobbiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get it. Yeah, but so if you can't, if you think something is expensive or your money concept's so terrible, you're going to be shit at selling. How can you be a sales trainer and think £800 is a lot of money? You shouldn't be one. It's like being a doctor who says, I don't really like blood. Then you really are in the wrong job. Yeah, but I like it. Fine. So it is all about money content. It's all about delivery. You need your own personality. And I teach that. You've got to put your own personality in it. You can't all be me. God forbid everyone was like me. It'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Right? It would be a horrible, horrible world. But you can take the material, make it your own. Make your own stuff. I've seen very mild, meek people use my stuff and do really well because they've got this way of doing it. Yeah? And at the end of the day, it's how you make people feel. So you could know this inside out, but make people uncomfortable. Then it's useless.
Exactly.
You could not know it well, but the little bits you do it in a way that makes people comfortable, and it works.
Yeah.
So it's about how you make people feel. And some people are just pathologically uncomfortable and make others uncomfortable.
Yeah. There's a bit in, I call it like playing the same notes. I mean, Jack, a musician, so we always link everything back to music.
Yeah.
So if I got my guitar out and started playing a riff to you, at first you'd think, that's quite good. Yeah. But after a little while, you go, change the tune a bit now. So there's a bit of people might pick up a technique from you, from us, from fucking Chris Voss, whoever it is.
Anyone at all.
And they'll take that one technique and just dine out on it over and over again. And 4 questions in, the prospect's suddenly going, this feels very salesy now.
Yes.
Because you've just used the same move 4 times.
Yeah, you can't keep using the same thing. Like I said, when I teach people to answer, if you keep saying to someone that's a good question, why'd you ask me? They're going to punch you.
Yeah.
Can't say that 3 times, 4 times in a row. So you need to learn different ways of coming back with a question, not just one set formula.
Yeah.
That will work a few times, and you could use the same structure several times in an hour-long meeting, but you can't use it the whole time because people will spot it and then it becomes salesy, becomes a little weird. So, you've got to master all the techniques of your trade. It's very important. It's a game, and we're actors, and I'm big on acting. I liked theatre sport when I was younger. I liked improv. I did it at high school for a bit because you just got up to get and say things.
Yeah.
And improv is good. So I joined Toastmasters to learn how to speak better. See, people say to me, how do I get better? Invest in your fucking self. Stop sitting there hoping you're going to change. Join Toastmasters. If you're not very good at speaking in front of people, then join a speaking club. They're everywhere. I don't have time. Then shut the fuck up. I hate people that whinge about, I'm not good. Then fix it. I don't have time. Then shut up. Are you going on holiday next month? Yeah. She found the time to take 2 weeks off. I said, I just need a break from all that. Fuck off. Yeah. So it annoys me. If something's broken, then try and fix it. Join a speaking club. Do a training club. It doesn't have to be me. It could be anyone, but at least do something. Don't sit there and wait for your employer to help you. It's not their job. Well, some people argue that it is, but I don't think an employer should support you and help you. But it's not their job to educate you. It's your responsibility to better yourself, no one else's. Yeah.
There's something, I'll probably butcher the quote, but there's something, a quote that's like, the time that you become a man is when you realise nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah, I like
it's
that.
just like, but no, like everybody just spends the whole life thinking, is somebody going to come and help me or get me out of this? And I was listening to something, it's like, if you come to me at 16 and you're like, my parents fucked me up, it's like, I'm so sorry. Let me give you a hug, let me take you for a pint. If you're there at 33 and you're going, my parents fucked me up and I'm still here and I've been in the same job for this and nothing's changed, do something.
Yeah.
Like we were literally talking about last night. Like one of the pet peeves is people just moaning and complaining about life or problems.
Yeah.
So it's like the money concept is such an interesting one
Yes.
because how for somebody listening, like, and we've done training with people that have this. What's your thought? How do you break that? How do you fix that? If I grew up in a poor house, so £10 is a lot of money for me.
Well, again, it's all the programming you get as a child. So if you grow up in a home where it's like, well, no one in our family's ever gone to university and no one in our family's ever made a lot of money. And whenever you'd meet a kid and so they got a new bike. Remember as you're a kid and one of your mates got a new bike. And of course, being a kid, you'd say something like, so how much does it cost? And the next thing you know, you get a slap from your mum saying, don't ask that question. It's rude. So they're teaching into you all these concepts that you shouldn't talk about money, that money's dirty, that in England particularly, you got the class structure. So all rich people are Tories and Tories are just evil bastards and they're just cruel. Abraham Lincoln, I can't remember the full quote, but part of it, there's two bits that always stand out. One, he said, you should never do for a man what he could and should do for himself. Right? So that's an anti sort of welfare thing. Most people are able to go out and make money.
Yeah.
So if they can go out and make money, you should go out. We should give you money when you know you can make it. The other one is you can't create wealth by pulling down wealth creators, which is what a lot of people do. Let's take more money from those that are successful to give it to those that aren't. That doesn't make more wealth. Rich people have choice and they move. You can leave if you're rich. You don't have to stay in a country if they're taxing the hell out of you. You just fuck off. So they take their money and leave. And then countries attract wealth creators. If you come and live here, you won't have to pay tax for the first 4 years.
Yeah.
Because we want you here making money. So yeah, you're right. We now live in a society, and we all know this, because victimhood it's now a virtue. To be a victim is...
See it all over LinkedIn, Benjamin.
Yeah, I know. And I hate it because be a victim, but it's not going to get you anywhere. Figure out, how do I fix this? So if you're... I love salespeople because you meet salespeople. I've got 15 years experience. And then you look at it and go, no, you don't have 15. You've had the same year 15 times.
Yeah.
Yeah? Why is it you sound almost... It's more slicker and better, but you kind of sound like the guy 2 years in, even though you're 15 years in. And you're doing the same thing that the guy 2 years in because you're teaching him what to do. And so I challenge that. If you're struggling to get past gatekeepers, you don't keep trying the same thing. You think, okay, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
If you're getting shut down in your pitch, you've got to say to yourself, either what I'm saying isn't resonating or the way I'm saying it is wrong. So then you trial it. I'll try saying the same words differently, see what happens. Still not working. All right. I'll change the words and say them the way I originally said them. Still not working. I'll change the words and say them differently. Oh, that's working. And then you just roll that. People don't do that because the thing about sales, I call them at leasters. Yeah. They operate in a 7 out of 10. At least I just hit target. At least I just met target. At least I've done just enough to get through this month. And it's not hard to hold on to a sales role. And I get this all the time. And every time I say this to a managing director or CEO, they get it. I say, when I say, why don't you just fire your salespeople? Get better ones. They go, no, I don't want to do that. Why not? Well, because they do.
Yeah.
They do bring. And I go, yes. And they know they do bring in just enough. And they do just enough to be relevant because they know you can't get rid of them because they do just enough to be relevant. And they got you over a barrel. And you know that. And they know that. There's no legitimate reason if you're in sales to be looking for a job. Because if you've got a sales job, why are you looking for another one?
Exactly.
The only reason is I know I'm going to get fired.
Yeah.
So I'm now looking for new experiences, new challenges. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You suck, and you know you suck, and you're already looking for a way out.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly.
There are a few exceptions. Maybe again, someone's going, oh, that's outrageous. There are some really shitty... Yes, there are exceptions where there are really crap employees and getting out's in your best interest. But most salespeople are leaving because they see the writing on the wall. Yeah? So they call them at leasters because they do just enough to be relevant.
Yeah.
And it's infuriating if you're a business owner. Because how are you going to grow if they're only doing just enough to get by?
Exactly.
And it hurts. It hurts owners. And this is what annoys me too. Salespeople demand these fat salaries. There was a post yesterday on LinkedIn. Some guy's banging on about, I saw an SDR role advertised for $22K a year.
I saw it.
They called it competitive. I said, 22K for a start-out job is good. All they're going to do is fuck about for 6 months. I mean, what the hell are you on about? So, and he said you should be offering these jobs. Good call. So companies say, you know what, let's not pay anyone anything. I mean, no, 22K is a lot of money. Yeah, it's not a huge amount, but at your first job, you're not supposed to be able to go on foreign holidays twice a year. No. You're not supposed to be able to get your first mortgage in the first year. You know, you start off low and you work your way up. So it annoyed me that they attack owners, businesses, as not paying enough. It's like, well, hold up. If you set up a business, you're 100% commission. That's what I point out to my client or the student. Your boss is 100% commission, because if this company doesn't work, they don't get paid. Yeah, that's how you guys you own a business. If these guys don't do their job, you don't get paid. Yeah. So the idea then the salespeople, well, it's all right for you. You're the boss. You may go, no. So I say all salespeople should be 100% commission. Do you know how quickly people get good at something where they have to sell?
Oh yeah, that's when I got
and you
best.
did. Yeah. You set it up from your bedroom with no money. I set my job up with no money. No one gave me jack.
Yeah.
And I built it up from nothing. So I have no sympathy for salespeople who say, I want 40K a year minimum. Piss off.
You know, one of the things that I always say to people, externally and internally in our business, when there's that moaning thing starting to happen, I say, do you think there's ever been a scenario where someone's been in a worse spot than you're in right now and done better? And then they go, oh, yeah, definitely. 100% there is. There's someone out there, like you're moaning about Cognizant data or whatever it may be, or the fucking dialer's not ringing 10 people at once anymore. Someone sat there on a mobile phone with the Google search in front of them, making it work while you're moaning.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, how did we get to the 21st century without all this technology? By the way, people under 30 seem to think. It's like, well, you know, before the internet, they used to use the yellow pages and the white page. You'd look people up and you'd phone. So you got everything. Oh, the data shit. But you got the internet.
Yeah.
It's all there. Oh, I don't know how to find it. And they're dumb. And they just don't want to work. And they don't want to put any effort. And that's why most salespeople, like I say, are average. They don't want to be there. They needed a job. The barrier to entry is so low. If you can fit into a suit and not dribble during the interview, you are pretty much qualified to be offered a role in sales.
Yeah.
And then after doing it for about a year, because it hit me, after a year, you realise I have no transferable skill set. Have you ever seen a job ad that said wanted ex-salespeople? You are required for a new role to bring your sales skills to a new job. There is no transferable skill set. So most get stuck. They realise, unless I go retrain, but I'm too lazy or I can't be asked, I just have to stay here. But it's okay, because it takes an employer about 6 to 12 months to figure out your shit. And you just keep job to job. And because most people hiring salespeople don't know what to look for, they go, well, he's got experience in our sector. Do you know how many MDs you get in front of saying, I go, let me guess how it went and why I'm here. Let me guess, you hired a sales director. Yes. Came from the sector. Yes. Said he had a little blick bar. Yes. And then he spent his whole time saying, we need to do this, we need this, we need... Yes! And then nothing happened. Yes! How much did he cost you? A lot! And why did you hire him? Because I thought he knew what he was doing, because I didn't. Yes, you see? And so it's a common theme. We hired someone from within the industry that knew, they said what they were doing. No, they weren't. They were in a big... No one sells IBM. Even IBM would say that. You don't get fired for hiring IBM. You don't sell IBM if you're an IBM salesman. You walk up and say, we're with IBM. Can you afford us? No, fuck off. Yeah, that's it. Yeah? To all the IBM salesmen, I'm being a bit flippant. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. It's the brand. You've created a reputation and brand that people are willing to just give you money. And so their goal is just don't fuck up the order. Yeah. Now, there is an element of selling, but for a lot of things, McDonald's, for instance, doesn't sell anything, does it?
Order takers.
The whole thing
You don't
is...
even talk to a person these
Yeah,
days.
no, exactly.
Press a button.
You know, I say to this, you go to someone and tap them on the shoulder next time you're at McDonald's and say, what are you doing? No one's going to say, I'm just browsing. They're not going to... No, they're there to place an order. So McDonald's just fulfills orders, yeah? So when you build up a brand and a reputation and you deliver the same experience, people will just give you money. And that's where that's where you are. You're looking forward to the day when you don't have to prospect for your business. Because if you're not, you're a loser. You do not want to be 50 years old prospecting. If you are, something's gone wrong in your life. Something has gone badly wrong. Unless you've set up a new enterprise, I'll give you that. But if you're still in a job prospecting at 50, something's gone wrong.
Something's gone wrong.
Something's gone wrong. Get out.
Yeah.
Get out. And that was what I said to myself. So before anyone who's 50 says, well, that's, I can't, you're a wanker. I said that to myself. Sitting at my desk one day prospecting on behalf of other people. And I said, Benjamin, if you're doing this when you're 50, what the fuck? I can't. No, I need more than this. So I went out and I created this business and I learned how to sell and got really good at it. And I didn't want to be a trainer. This just happened. This wasn't the plan. It was my client saying, you're so good. You know, you'd make more money if you taught people. And that was it. I'm only in this to make money, people. So for all of you who think I'm here to change the world or make, fuck off. I'm in this to make money. And I learned how to make money. Now I teach other people how to do it. There's no other ulterior motive here.
Yeah. There's. I don't know if you've noticed this, because I think you probably subscribe to the same thought.
Yeah.
Your LinkedIn will give you, based on the algorithm, stuff back based on sales. I don't see anything from the industries I used to work in anymore. I just see like sales gurus, whatever it may be. Some of the wording, I don't know what it means. I was a salesperson for 10 years. I own a business that revolves around... Someone said to me the other day, how would you approach the difference between demand capture and demand generation? And I thought, I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I know. I get it. The LinkedIn, some guys was asking me about different CRM systems. And he goes, would you recommend? I said, well, why do you want one? He goes, because I want to be able to capture data and lessons so that we can look back at the sales. I go, what the fuck does that mean? And he goes, well, if we're able to see where sales are falling out and not doing... I said, but how's that going to help you sell better? He goes, well, we'll know what's going on. But you know what's going on. What are you going to put into that system that's going to make your people better? Well, we can pull out lessons. Like what? And he goes, how is data in this CRM system going to tell you that your guys aren't asking the right questions? Are they going to write in there, I lost the deal because I didn't ask the right question? No, they're not going to put that. And if they do put that, you don't need a fucking CRM system. They've just admitted it.
Yeah.
So CRM systems they're part of the add-on industry. Sales, and you have all the spin-off products. You need a CRM system. No, you don't. You need a spreadsheet with a name and a number. Red for they told me to fuck off. Green is they're willing to meet. Black is I still haven't spoken to them. And then I just change the colour.
Yeah.
It's that easy. I don't need to write, no, try calling, left a voicemail, send a message. That's all fill in time. And that's why a salesperson can make 40 dials in a day, because in between every dial there's 5 minutes of CRMing. And it doesn't help. Okay, yeah. What does it give you? So CRM systems are bollocks. Save your money. Give it to me.
Yeah. Me and Jack got put in a WhatsApp group a little while ago. It was like a sales leader, guru type thing, like people globally from around the world. And there was a little debate that was kicking off around permission-based openers, right?
Yes.
And
They don't work.
the
They make
guy
you a
who
better
was
male.
the owner of the group is quite a prolific sales influencer guru type.
Cult leader.
And people like that, where it's very like the business is their name.
Yeah.
And it's very like, this is me, this is my own tactics, and I've founded all this stuff. Permission-based openers don't work was his argument.
Yeah.
And all I put back was, based on what?
Yeah.
He referenced some book by some guy who's been dead for 20 years. And I said, okay, so other than the guy who's dead, based on what else? Like, I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah.
And the next thing, it was people are too fighty in this group, and I got kicked out of the group.
For having a different... Well, that's the modern world. If you have a difference of opinion,
Exactly.
you're evil.
Exactly.
Did he call you a bigot by any chance? Because that's
Well,
the
he left.
then I left, and then he must have forgot that we'd had this interaction, added me on LinkedIn and messaged me a trailer that was his own face talking about this new method. And it was all like pictures of wolves and like people from Peaky Blinders, like you've got to be an alpha, you've got to pick up the phone and show people who's boss, and no permission-based. They want someone who's the authority in the room, which I wouldn't disagree with, but there's a way to get there.
Yeah.
And the next thing, I was sort of talking to him on like doing what we all do, which is not answer any questions.
Yeah.
What do you think it is that you're really looking for by sending me that? Do you think you'll ever find true happiness? Remember, after all this, no matter how much money, because the response to that was like, well, if I'm making over $1 million a year, then sure, I am happy. And I said, but you can't take it with you. You know, you'll die, don't you?
Yes, we know that.
all these-
Jack's favourite line.
All these different responses. And then anyway, again, he blocked me and said, you shouldn't tell successful people that they're going to die. That was his closing line.
Really? I would have thought that's
And
the
then-
one thing you know is you are going to die.
And then he blocked me, but then I searched him. So I'd never heard of this guy before.
Okay.
And I searched him. There's his name, his website, his book, and then a big domestic violence case that happened in his...
Yeah.
So you're like, if all you'd have to do is search this guy and be like, these alpha tactics and...
It's the issue. The issue with LinkedIn, and I obviously had a kickoff by accident. I feel like we've been in many kickoffs. Somebody the other day said 100K a year, and I understand money beliefs. 100K a year is not enough to live on, and it's like, come on, come on. The average is 33K in the UK.
Yeah.
There's people that are struggling.
They don't need to hear that right now.
You don't need to hear that, and I get it. You're using it to.
Yeah.
Sell something. What are your? Because I would never put you in the category of sales guru. I put you in the
Thank
category
God,
of
because I have deliberately. It was a conscious decision. Now you guys know this, but when I started out, I knew I had to break through because sales trainers are a dime a dozen. You know, I needed to stand out, and when I went on LinkedIn to look at what other people in the area were doing, they all fell into the trap that I teach against, and it's this desire to be loved and liked. And it's reflected in how they would refer to themselves. Guru, top performer, number one leader, best performer. And I said, see, they still don't get it. They still all want to be loved, and they still want to be loved. I said, I don't want to be any of that, because that's not going to help me sell. I want to be, and that's where I'll be hated. And so if you go over anything that I've written, since 2016 is when I really started using LinkedIn. If you read anything, if it goes back that far, I don't know, you will never once see me as ever referred to myself in anything as an expert, as a sales leader, as a sales professional. No, because I don't believe in that. Other people can call me that, and that was the whole strategy. Get other people to say, Benjamin's the expert. Because that's when you are, when other people see it. But if you have to call yourself it, then I'm very skeptical. So going back to the permission-based, look, it's like anything in life. Some things work better than others. A permission-based opener will fail some of the time. Just like a permission-based opener will fail some of the times. But what we have to work is we've got to play the odds. We've got to play the statistical averages, right? And I know statistically that when I do the line that you guys love and everyone seems to do now, you can't just go, look, I'll be up front and this is a cold call. Do you want to hang up now? Let me have 30 seconds. Statistically, that achieves a far greater carry on than a lot of others. Now, I'm not saying, I get clients to say, I don't want to say that. So rather than argue with them, it's, well, I don't care. Don't do it. I don't give a toss. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But let me ask you this question. If it worked, would you do it? Yes. Then do it. If it doesn't work, don't do it. But if it doesn't work and is working for someone else, what's the first question you're going to ask yourself? Why does it work for them?
Yeah.
And then you have to look in the mirror and say, well, maybe it's the way I do it. Maybe it's the way I say it. Because if it works, it works. So I don't care how you open a call, though, to be perfectly blunt.
Yeah.
You know? So these arguments, the other argument all the time is, does cold calling work? It's just a load of horse shit. The only people that push that, and they always get, this I suppose, again, no, it's proof of why LinkedIn is just a bit of a cesspit in some ways. If you write a post that tells people what they want to hear, it does well.
Of course.
And if you tell people you don't have to prospect and you don't have to cold call and all you need to do is send video emails and do all of this, people love it. But if you say the opposite, you don't get the. But it's fine because the people that like your stuff are the people that gauge you, the people that they get it and they'll use you. So yeah, no, LinkedIn. I hate LinkedIn. I can't wait to the day that I don't have to use. It is my office.
Yes.
You know, I've been self-employed for 20 years and I love it and I would never work for anyone. But LinkedIn is the office place for me because every day it's the same people.
Yeah.
And I didn't choose to work with any of these people.
No.
People would be
They're
surprised to
just
hear that, I think, that you hate it.
Oh, yeah. But I hate prospecting, but I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I use LinkedIn because I'm good at using it, but I hate it. Do you honestly think the day I don't have to do sales training, I'm going to be on LinkedIn?
No.
Does anyone think I'm there to get my emotional needs met? That I'm trying to form long-lasting relationships? No, I am there for one reason only, to take your money.
I love the direct-to-camera break.
Absolutely. Take your money. If you're not on there trying to get people to take your money, why are you there?
It's just for validation. And I see so many, and it makes me sick. And most times I'll comment and say it makes me sick.
Yeah.
I did some sales training with a company a little while ago, and like you say, you get them on the phone. I'm listening to them all at the start of the day, and they're going, "Hello, my name's James, calling from blah, blah, blah. How are you?" And I was like, "Can I just ask, guys, how do you feel about saying that?" "Oh, we hate it. Oh, we hate it. It doesn't work. It makes me feel awkward and anxious. Like they always just want to know what it is." So wait, you know it makes you feel like weird and cringy, but you keep doing it, which is the definition of insanity. Why the fuck do you do it? I know that you feel as passionate as us about how are you and the introductions. Why should people who are listening to this now stop asking people how they are on a cold call?
Because first of all, the main reason is that if you're ever going to ask a question, you should actually want to know the answer. And whenever you say to somebody, "How are you?" it is a knee-jerk response to fill in the "how do I get the conversation." What does everybody say? It is the exact same response. Fine, thanks. How the fuck does that add to the conversation? How does that add? It's just a filler. So it's done primarily out of habit, tradition, and nerves. But it achieves nothing. When I get asked it, I use to say, whenever somebody phones me up and says, "How are you today?" I say, "I'll be honest with you, my mum died last night." And every time you get this, I'm sorry to hear that. So anyway, the reason what's the fucking point of asking? So no, it just eliminate it, because yes, if you phone 100 people and say that, some will talk to you, and that's how they measure it. Well, people do talk to me if I say it. You could phone up and say, "I'm going to kill you," and someone will keep talking to you. Really? Why? What have I done? Who are you? So it doesn't. Yeah. So we got to do what's effective. And "Hi, how are you?" will elicit in your prospect a reaction you don't really want. It's going to, it's another one of sales calls. Now it triggers in them the set excuses. "I'm too busy. I can't take it right. I'm just heading into a meeting. I'm fine, thanks." You're setting yourself up to fail. So why do that? You do it because it's tradition, it's habit, and you've got a manager that showed you that that's how it's done.
Yeah. There's other things as well, isn't there, that even when you're in the call, no, I don't think anyone in real life has ever asked someone that's their friend that's going through a problem, what's the impact been on you having that? No one, because suddenly you go, "Oh my God, no one asked that." Now
I've never asked a mate of mine, "So what keeps you up at night?"
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like, I won't mention any names, but those online, those CRM companies, the people that sell this, you just Google their name and white paper, and they've got 124 questions you should be asking in any sales meeting. It's like, this sounds like it was written by a cyborg AI robot, right? It's like, you ask these questions, so people, no wonder you have problem forming lasting relationships. They're terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
And no, it is. There's so much crap out there about how to sell, because no one teaches you the art of communicating. It's all just go and convince, ask these top line questions. And it's never about having a conversation. And I know that sounds a bit trite's the wrong word, a bit woolly and wavy.
Yeah.
But mastering the art of conversational questioning, as I call it, is where all you're doing is listening to what they're saying and then questioning or challenging or seeking clarification on what they've just said. And that's what keeps the conversation going. And that's when stuff starts to drop out. We need a new website. Well, why do you need a new website? Well, because our current one isn't making... Well, it's not generating the level of leads that we wanted. Well, why do you think it's not generating the level of leads? Well, we're not sure. Well, when you say you're not sure, when you asked your company that built it why it's not doing what it's doing, what do they say? Well, they said it's because we're not investing enough in this. And do you believe that's right? Well, no, not really. So why else? So you can, and then the slow bits start to, stuff that's important starts to spin out. That's where I'm going to sell, because I'm trying to get to the truth. I'm not here to push a product on you, but that's what I was listening to some calls yesterday. I'm starting to work with I won't mention them, but they do financial stuff, and they sent me a series of calls, and the whole call is someone has gone onto their website and downloaded a white paper, and then they phoned them up. So we're not allowed a cold call. Well, this is the definition of cold call.
Yeah, that's cold.
I mean, I said I doubt they've downloaded this white paper and is thinking, "Gee, I hope they phoned me." I've been waiting for your call. It's the definition of cold calling, right? You're phoning up someone that's not expecting you. And that follow, I understand. The first thing I understand, you downloaded our. Now, instantly you hear the reluctance because it's a bit creepy. So
Big Brother.
You're like kind of like spying on you. Yeah, but I didn't. And then they go, "So how'd you find it?" And the same response, I haven't had a chance to look at it. Which is weird. It's like, why did you download it? You know, it's just one of those.
And I've seen that you've looked at page 3 for 7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, you lie.
All of these tracking things, and it's just a little creepy. It'd be like, I always like to see selling and dating. I put them together. Imagine you go up to a guy, I couldn't help but notice that you lingered on my profile. Yeah. I thought I'd just call you. Yeah, no, I'm not interested. Why? It's creepy. So, and then it was the same, and then it was just push a meeting. And as I teach the law of physics, if you try and push someone, they're going to swing the other way. If you try and pull someone, they're going to pull the other way. So why are you doing it? Well, how else do we do it? Well, I'm going to show you, but it's going to be uncomfortable. And most people don't like to be uncomfortable because change.
Yeah.
So, and this is what you're up against. People will do what they've always done because they're comfortable. They don't want to change. It's not people hate change. People hate the uncertainty that comes with change. And knowing you're doing something that's shit but still delivers a certain result is better than doing something you believe could be better but you don't know if it'll work. So I'd rather stick with what I know.
Stick to the status quo.
And that's where you get stuck. And you can have a career. And trust me, you can have a 20-year career doing that. Don't get me wrong.
Of course you can.
You can have 20 years, but it's not very fulfilling. And then you're always moaning, I'm not paid enough. And I feel undervalued. It's like, well, have you done anything to actually increase your value?
Yeah. You can be in sales as a sales director, and your job is you take your 4 big accounts out and do cocaine with them once a quarter.
Yeah, and that's it.
And that's your job.
That's all about the relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
We've just hired a couple of new guys, and we did a training session the other day. And I said, "What do you want to cover?" And they was like, "How do we get people more emotional on cold calls?" So, with you being the goat, I'll pose the question to you. I'm going to get a bit of free training now. How would you make people more emotional during cold calls?
Well, you got to get them there through questions, ultimately. And again, it comes back to conversational questions. I call it crab walking. Salespeople are very good at going sideways, never down. It's very easy when you're talking to a prospect. They suddenly, so what sort of systems do you use? Oh, we use ABC systems. Oh, how do you find that system? Now you're going off on a sideway. So you need to dig deeper. So why did you choose the ABC system? What is it about the ABC system that doesn't quite fix the problem? And how long has that been going on? Okay, and other than ABC, what else have you tried to fix it? Okay, and as a result of all of that happening, well, you're probably going to tell it hasn't cost any money, though. Well, no, it has cost us money. Do you have any idea how much? Well, not off the top of my head. Okay, well, let me ask you a personal question. And how you get there is you move them there, and then I sum up everything that they've told me. So how does it make you feel then, knowing that despite putting in the ABC system, it still hasn't fixed this problem, and you reckon it's costing you money? How does that make you feel? Well, yeah, when you put it like that, yeah, it's kind of pisses me off. And then I deliberately go deaf. Okay, sorry. I make it say, well, it pisses me off. Yeah, I can hear that in your voice. So have you given up trying to fix it? Well, no. Done. You've gone from intellect to emotion. I'm not talking they're in tears opening up. You need them to get to the point where it's like, all right, well, maybe you do have something. Maybe you got to. Now, doesn't mean they're going to buy. Doesn't mean that when I get in front of them, that when I diagnose that there's a big enough problem to fix. And this is what a lot of people get. Prospecting isn't a sales meeting. Prospecting is getting in front of somebody that has symptoms. It's the best way to put it. It looks like they may have a problem we can fix, but we don't know based on this call. It just looks like you have a problem. The purpose of this meeting is to diagnose, is there something there? And if there is, are we the solution, or is there actually a different solution? So that's the sales meeting. And so many people confuse those. I only want to get in front of people to figure out if I can help you. I'm not trying to sell anything on the phone call. So it's not called a sales call. It's a prospecting call for a reason. And people confuse that. And they're trying to push something on them the whole time. And if you try and push a meeting on someone, they're going to recoil. Yeah. So I never ask for a meeting. I always say, have you given up trying to fix it? And they say, well, no. I go, well, look, I'll be honest, I don't know if I can fix this for you because I don't know enough about the ins and outs. But look, let's pretend I could. Let's pretend I could and you genuinely believed our solution would fix it. What would you do? Well, then, yeah, I'd be interested. So is there any reason you wouldn't invite me in to explore that for half an hour? No. See, no one to ask. I say, would you invite me in? I say, would you explore it? It's non-committal. Because I'm not asking you to commit. All I'm asking is, can we get together for half an hour, 40 minutes to explore whether or not you have a problem I can fix? Just like a doctor, when you phone the doctor, well, what are your symptoms? Yeah, maybe you should come and see me. And you go to the doctor, and then he does his session, and he gets to the end of it. He says, "Look, to be honest, it's nothing. In a few days, this should work its way through." In fact, I wish I was a GP, because if you ever been to a GP in Britain, the only thing they ever say is, "Look, it'll be fine. Just drink plenty of water and give it a few days."
Get some cranberry
7
juice
fucking
in,
years of medical school to tell me that, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, they get to the end of the meeting and they go, "Look, we're going to have to run more tests." Now you're into the sales process with them, yeah? Now tests aren't free, yeah? So you have to do the test, yeah? Or they can say, "Here's a prescription," and they prescribe the prescription. Now, whether you buy the prescription from the chemist or not, I don't really care, but this is a solution. If you want to take, you can't go in there and say, "Look, doc, I know what's wrong. I've been on Google. I know how to fix this. I know what's wrong with me. So what I need this, this, and this," which is what a lot of prospects do. "We know what our problem is, Benjamin. We want you to be able to do this, this, and this for us." Oh, hold up. You're not the doctor. You don't walk in here and tell me what to
Yeah.
prescribe. It's not how this works. I don't care how well your research is. I'm the expert. I will diagnose and I will give you the solution that I know to be right to fix it. Now, if you don't like that solution, that's fine. I don't care.
Go to a different doctor.
Yeah, go to a different doctor. Find someone that will tell you what you want to hear. That's not my job. And that's what selling is about. It's the same thing. But too many people let the prospect tell them, "Can you do this?" "Oh, yeah." Why? Why? Just because they've asked for it. And then it goes back to all those rules. Well, the customer's always right and all of this crap. You realise salespeople didn't make those rules up. Just for anyone. The salespeople didn't make up the customer's always right. It was made up by prospects because they're smarter than you. They figured it out, yeah? Yeah. So anyway, I've rambled. I ramble. It's what I do.
No, it's good. One thing that comes up sometimes with our guys when they first start is they might talk to your high D CEO type who suddenly will snap out of the trance that they might have been put under and suddenly start bombarding lots of questions, not just the typical like, "Well, who is it? What do you do?" Like, "Okay, who have you worked with before? What results do you have?" And they'll start just hammering, 4 or 5 questions at them.
Yeah.
And before we know it, we've got someone who's taken the headphones off and is looking over at us very sad that they lost control, which we can help them with. But what about if you're coming into the process, it's all going well, but suddenly someone just snaps out and just, "Actually, I'm going to take control of this now." How do you respond
So
to
you're
that?
going to hate the answer, because the answer is always every problem in sales or a prospect call is started upstream. You've got here for a reason. And by the time you've got there, if the guy suddenly snaps, you may be able to rescue it, but the odds are it's too late. The horse is bolted. You fucked up.
Yeah.
You've something earlier. So the first thing you look at was, how did we get here? What is it you said or did leading up to this that led them to snap? Whenever somebody gets angry, it means they're feeling an emotion. They're frustrated. They're irritated, which means maybe you've been trying some of the techniques of answering a question with a question, but you've done it in a very sloppy, or you've done it in a manner that makes you come across as evasive. And when you come across as evasive, that will get someone upset because they feel like you're lying to them. So then they snap. So then the question is, well, it's too late now. So we need to work on how you sound when you're answering. But if someone does snap at you, again, it's very hard to do non-contextual.
Yeah, of course.
Because then you give an example. There's someone saying, "Well, I couldn't do that." Well, I'm not fucking saying. We're just plonking in the middle of something. So
of
don't
course.
take anything that I'm saying literally here today. But if someone were to snap at me, if someone would say, "So Benjamin, who have you worked with?" Now, first question is how we got here. But if I had to deal with that, look, I'm happy to answer that. Before I do the quick question, are you interested in companies in your sector? Or interested in companies the same size as you or something else? And if I just want to know who you've worked with. I go, okay, and then if they're really angry, rather than roll with it, I'm going to call it. I go, I'm going to be blunt with you. I get the feeling I've upset you or you're angry with me. What have I done? And what does he do? He either gets angry, fine. I can hang up. You can hang up. Did you know that? If you are allowed to hang up on someone, you don't have to take shit. Yeah, I once had a guy go off at me and I said, "Can I ask you a blunt question?" He goes, "What?" I said, "Are you always this rude or is it just salespeople?" And it stopped him dead in his tracks. He goes, "No, sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah, and it's some people, if they get angrier, who cares? Because I know when I hang up, they're feeling worse than me."
Yeah.
So fuck them.
Yeah.
No, this is a game. So, but yeah, if you get asked a tough question, or you get asked a question out of aggression or frustration, you really should be asking, "What did I do to get here?" That's only going to fix it, because prevention's better than cure. It's very hard to pull someone back unless you've got the skills. If somebody snapped at me, I've been in a meeting face to face. I'm in a meeting with a CEO. There was him and 4 directors. We're sitting in a boardroom, and we'd agreed that he would let me do what I do. And I said, look, I'm going to ask a lot of questions, and they're going to be tough and challenging and uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's about 20 minutes into the meeting, and this guy stops me, and he's a very... He goes, all right, Benjamin, look, I've been here 20 minutes. I don't know what it is that you do. So you cut to the chase. How can you help me? Now, I'm still a person, so I could, you know, that hot...
Yeah.
The blood's rushing.
So I get that, right? And then this little bit of me, I don't know if this guy's testing me. I don't know if this guy's genuinely, I have no idea. And the bugger with doing what I do is I have to do everything I teach. So, damn it, I can't bail out now. So I remember I looked at this guy and I said, Chris Voss calls it labelling. I didn't know the term until I read his book. I liked his book because he everything he says I was doing, he just puts it more eloquently. Yeah, that's what I like. That's why I read his book. I thought,
he's negotiated lives with it. It tends to help as well.
Yeah, and he's done. It's like, yes, he's everything that I teach, he says, but just much better. So he calls it labelling, and I said, look, I won't mention the guy. I said, Robert. I'll say Robert. I said, look, Robert, I understand why you're feeling frustrated because this process, as I said, is a lot of questions. I go, but you do remember at the beginning of this meeting when you agreed that you were going to let me do this. He goes, yes. I go, well, this is what I do, and I say, I'll be upfront with you. It doesn't matter what happens at the end of this meeting. If I don't do what I know I need to do, the outcome is going to be pointless anyway. I said, so it's really up to you. I said, if you want, I don't mind leaving. It's up to you. What do you want to do? Now, of course, he was caught in a psychological bind because he had agreed. Now, he has 2 choices. Does he throw his toys out of the pram? Or does he honour his word? Stick to what we'd agreed? And he looked at me and goes, no, you're right. I did agree. Fine, carry on. But you could see he was still annoyed. You can't leave someone. So I thought, fuck it. I don't even need the business, so fuck it. So I said, look, I get the feeling I've upset you. And before he could answer, someone jumped in to rescue him. One of the other directors, no, you can't upset Robert. And Robert said, no, I'm fine. I said, you sure? And then they all started laughing. I said, now we're all friends again. And this was ability where someone had got frustrated. So rather than ignore it, rather than acquiesce to their demands, it's to know I'm going to deal as an adult and a nurturing parent would. You're upset. I get it. I know why you're upset. These are the reason why. We did agree. Yes. It's up to you as an adult to adult. Mm-hmm. Do you want to carry on with what we agreed or do you want me to leave? I'm fine either way. I don't need your money. I do very well out of this. It's up to you. I didn't say that. I'm thinking that, yeah? So there's a lot of things I say that I don't say. That's always in my head, particularly the stuff around not needing money. But you have to sit there and plant your feet. Look, why would I want to work with someone, too, that can't stick to their word over the space of 30 minutes?
Yeah.
It's a good test of character. This is why I do this. If you can't stick to your word, how are you going to pay my invoices? You're going to be a prick?
Yeah.
Yeah? So I'm always about, I don't have to, this is the other thing, but you don't have to sell to everyone. Just because someone needs what you have, you don't have to sell to them. Yeah, they need you. You don't need them. And if you're going in with the mindset, I need them, then you're screwed.
Yeah, we've got better at that. Haven't we? Like, there's been moments where we've talked about like a new business meeting. We've both agreed we probably could help them, but
you don't like him.
But the guy was a dick.
Yeah,
nightmare.
and say no. Yeah,
it's going to be an absolute nightmare. And you have to speak to him every week. He's going to move the goalposts. It's going to be so we just, and it's. I think you've said this before. It's incredibly hard to say no to someone. Much more than talk them into something. So you're on a discovery call, they've got all the problems, and you're saying, look, I don't think I can help you. I don't think we're going to be the right fit for you. Well, why? Why is they stay and they start pushing back and defending?
It's like an ex at 3 in the morning outside your door going, take me back.
Yeah. It is very hard to get rid of people when you tell them you don't want to work with them.
Yeah.
Because their ego, why the fuck don't you want to work with me? And then they start arguing with you why you're wrong. And it's like, there's even better. Now, if you don't want to work with it, but I do it to everyone. I've like I said, just started working with a new company out in East London way, and the MD said, I keep laughing, he goes, because I realised after our phone call that you made me argue for why I needed sales training the whole time. He said, I can't, you try. He goes, I had to phone you back the next day because I didn't know what I'd bought. And he did, because he said, I don't know exactly what we're doing. What's it look like? And so I explained, he goes, oh, you put my mind at ease. And I remember on the call, I said, don't you find it funny, though, that you agreed to buy something you didn't know what it was? He goes, because we need to know how to do that because we spend our whole life trying to convince people why they need to use us and it doesn't work. No, it doesn't. I'm going to convince you don't need it. There are more reasons for you not to give me money than there are. So I'm going to figure out if we can get over those. And if we can't get over those, then the odds are we aren't working together. And it's the same with every product. But prospects are good at sensing weakness. They're good at sensing desperation, and they will exploit it. So I get it all the time. Is there a discount?
Yeah.
And I go, well, what do you think I'm going to say? And they go, well, if you want our business. I go, I'd like your business, but I don't need it. So let me ask you a question. Would you hire a sales trainer that discounts to win business to train your people? That always stumps them. Now, of course, for those watching this, and I'm going to point out, I get a lot of twats contact me because I sell online stuff as well. And this is completely automated. And I get people say, but you advertise discounts. And I try to point out that there is a difference between sitting in front of someone and discounting in order to win the business because you need it. And then there is this whole retail concept of driving a load of people
Black
to buy a load
Friday
of
sale.
in
Yeah,
one
yeah.
bang. They are totally different concepts. I discount in those occasions because I choose to. I don't have to. I never have to do it. But when I'm in front of a prospect, if they say, look, B, we want to work with you, but our budget's only 30 and you're coming in at 50, so then you need to find more money.
Yeah.
Well, could you do it for 40? No.
Yeah.
I don't work like that.
No, I don't work like that. So I will never compromise on that. But if I'm driving people from a LinkedIn post to go buy a boot, I don't get it. No, it's different. But I get people say, oh, you're not living true to what you believe. It's like, no, they're totally different concepts. If you don't get that, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And most people get it, but there's a few. You get these, and
There's always going to be
there's always a few
clusters in life,
weirdos, right? So yeah, so if you're one of those weirdos, don't email your mum. It's with her the problem, not me.
I had a guy I did a post about this. I think sometimes salespeople hold that conversation on is there discounts and budgets and stuff, and they think there's got to be this big answer to it. Yeah. But I had a guy say to me, why is your model based on payment up front, you pay for the time rather than on results? And I said, why do you think it is? Yeah. And he said, because you've got a business to run, you've got bills, you've got people sat in front of you. And I said, okay, and if that was the case, would that seem fair? And he said, well, yeah, it seemed more than fair. And we just moved on.
I know.
There was no discount.
No, you don't have to. And this is it. An objection, whenever it's raised, the only person that can deal with it is the person that raised it. I can't fix an objection. You got to do it. It's your objection, not mine.
Yeah.
I know we're expensive. You got to get over it, not me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know it. So that's a good test. You get them to figure out why. Now, some people will still get the answer and not like it, and still say, "Well, I'm not doing it." Then that's fine. But it's not an objection. It's you just a cheap. We don't work with cheap people, so you've just saved us. You remember, you buy the way you sell, and you sell the way you buy. Yeah. So this is always it's people that always are looking for a cheap deal. Sell cheap. And then they wonder why they're broke. It's a pattern of behavior. Yeah, it's the same with decision making. I always say to people, look, only decision makers can get others to make decisions. So if you are by nature in your own private personal life a ditherer and a procrastinator, you shouldn't be in sales unless you learn how to start making decisions. So I'm an impulsive decision maker. I've made a lot of stupid decisions. But when you make a lot of stupid decisions, that is what eventually gets called wisdom and experience and knowledge. That's how wisdom and experience and knowledge are created, through fucking up and then changing. So I've made a lot. The decision to come to England was made on the street in Dunedin. A fellow lawyer of mine said, I told him I'm going to sell everything, I'm going to hitchhike around New Zealand before I properly become a lawyer. And he said, why don't you go to England? He goes, you could get a passport because your parents are British. I said, why the fuck not? 6 weeks later, I turned up in England. No idea what I was going to do, right? And now I've been here 24 years next month.
Wow.
And I built this whole career and business. This was not meant to be my life, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So if you can't make decisions quickly, you're never going to get others to make decisions if you can't. So when your other half says, do you want to go out tonight? Rather than, I don't know, let me think about it. Just say yes or no. Just like that. You know the answer. The prevarication is just the avoidance of giving it.
Yeah.
Yeah? And what is it? A decision not to make a decision is a decision. So when somebody says, I need to think it over, I go, well, why not just say no? No, I don't want to make a decision, but you have made a decision.
Yeah.
The decision is not to make this decision. Tell me no. And if they say, no, I don't want to go, I say, fine, it's a no from me then. Because if you can't make a decision, I can't help you. First disqualification test, you're out. because working with me, you're going to have to do this. So it's a no from, no, is it? No. Yeah. So I just say no. If they won't give me a no, say it's a no from me then. I can't work with you. You've just proven to me you're never going to do what I teach. And then now, where's the pressure now? It ain't on me, and I'm the salesman.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be on me? No. I've had people say no, then phone back 3 days later, so I'm in. And then I go back, no, it's a no from me still. And I make them beg for it.
Yeah.
Why?
We'll pay you
Because I
double.
can.
Evil bastard.
Yeah, no, it's because it's what I
That's
do,
why
because
you're the
this
UK's
is why I've got to
most
do it.
hated.
I had a guy once say to me, we have 60-day payment terms. And I acted. I said, I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? And he goes, well, if you invoice us, we'll pay you in 60 days. And I said, I said, well, that's going to be a problem. I think, because my payment terms are 100% up front. And he goes, well, those are our terms. I said, well, can you think of a way around it? And he said, no, I can't. He goes, because that's the way it is. If you want to work with us. I said, so I guess it's a no from me then. I said, I can't work like that. And then I said, let me think. I said, I got an idea. Why don't we do this? I'll invoice you and we'll start the training in 61 days. And he said, no, I want training now. I said, I want to be paid now. And he did what any CEO can do with any procurement policy. Send me your invoice. He got paid.
Yeah, it baffles me though, because these rules that a business has 30 days. We've always done it this way. Yeah, it's a rule. Fucking change it.
Yeah.
You're a business. That's
It
how business works.
Didn't come down from Mount Sinai as the 11th commandment.
Yeah.
Thou shalt only ever Those are the only 10 things literally chiseled in stone. Everything else is made up on paper that can be changed, right? So because I can blame the policies, and whenever someone says it's our policy, it's fine. I've got a policy too. But you're a one-man band. Even I am not above the policy.
I can't change it.
Yeah,
I speak to the
and that's how I do it. Yeah, so they say it's our policy. I go, no, my policy's 100% up front. Well, if you want to work with us, I'd love to work with you, but I'm not going to lie, do all right out of this. I don't need the business. So it's up to you. If you want me to come and help me. And then I always let me ask you a question. Do you really want to work with a sales trainer that has to bend to your purchasing process to teach your people to then go out and do the opposite? I said, because if I don't do this, I'm a hypocrite. And then I sometimes I give them a stroke. Sometimes is there a discount? I go, can I ask you a question? I go, is this a test?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like
This is a
that.
test. And they go, no. I go, oh, it's a shame because it would have been good.
It would have been a good.
It would have been really good. So it's not a test. Yeah, no, then the answer's still no. Yeah? So I got various ways of dealing with it. And people get it. Yeah, because why would you hire someone like me that doesn't do everything they teach? So I'm fastidious on doing it. So everything I say, I do it. Now I'll make mistakes and I'll fuck up because I'm still human. Don't get me wrong. But 95% of the time, I know I do pretty much everything I do. And it is tough at times. Yeah? Sometimes I'll say no to someone expecting them to come back and they don't. Fine. How did I fuck that up? Because I wasn't expecting that. Then I try and go over what happened and then I figure it out. And if I need to change something, I'll change it. Or it could be, you had an off day.
Yeah. Which happens.
And everyone has off days. Sometimes you just don't perform to your best. And I remember turning down a client because I had a meeting. I was pissed off, actually. It's my fault. I should have qualified it better. But I thought I was getting on a one-to-one meeting over Zoom. Turned out it was like an entire panel. And that wasn't the expectation. As soon as you see a whole panel, it's like, well, I hadn't prepared for a panel and I hadn't done what I normally would have done had I known there was a panel. So I felt a little sidelined. Anyway, the end of the process lasted about an hour and I was doing what I do and someone had been on one of my courses and they were, every question I asked, they came back with a question.
Yeah.
It was like this. So this is someone doing this real tug of war thing. So it was a weird situation. And they get to the end of it and they said, well, we're not going to make a decision, even though they agreed at the beginning they would. We're off to a foreign country for a week, and then when we come back. And I got off that meeting and I sat there and I thought, first of all, I wasn't happy with my performance because I knew I was emotionally involved because I was kind of pissed off that I felt I'd been slightly set up. So I knew I was too emotional. And I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I still have an ego. I'd rather tell them no before they can tell me no. So based on what we said, I wrote them an email saying, look, these are the reasons why I don't want to work with you. And they were valid too, because I thought there wasn't a true synergy. So I wrote this letter, and I didn't hear anything back. No response, no acknowledgement, nothing. It wasn't until 3 weeks later I get a voicemail from the CEO, and said, "I've never had a breakup email before." He goes, which is interesting to be on the receiving end of it. He goes, "Look, we want to work with you." And I was like, "What the fuck?
Wow.
Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "We debated your email for 2 days. Is this a tactic? Is he serious? I mean, what is he up to? Is this real?" And he goes, "Compared to everyone else, you were by far the absolute best." So we were quite aghast. And I go, "So was it a trick? Was it a ruse?" I said, "You'll never know.
You'll never
Yeah.
know.
It doesn't matter.
Pay me.
It doesn't matter."
There's a thing in that. I had one somewhat similar recently where it was the second meeting. The guy I had the first meeting with had said that he'd sold us in to his other 2 decision makers.
Oh, yeah,
So, he was like,
old-
so I've done that bit
I've
first.
done the hard
yeah,
bit.
yeah. They've seen
Yeah.
a few calls. It was all this sort of stuff. When I got there, I didn't do the first bit of the call. You know, where you settle your expectations, everything that I would normally do that would allow
And
permission.
they pulled you up, did
Well,
they?
it would allow permission for me to ask all the tough questions.
Yeah.
I didn't do that because
Right.
and so it's on me.
Yeah.
And one of the guys was pissed off after a few tough questions. And he started off saying, "Oh, this is a bit like a therapy conversation." And then as it got a bit tougher, he started to look more annoyed.
Yeah.
And then he bit. And then it all fucked up from there.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, the reflective moment afterwards was I let him do that. I didn't set the expectation,
Yeah.
the rules. I took the other guy's word. So sometimes there's a piece in not sticking to that process regardless.
Yeah.
That's where I noticed that it goes wrong. So like with that, where you expected one thing
Yeah.
and you trusted it to be
Yeah.
one thing, and then
No.
it became something else, and you're like,
Yeah.
I've
You
now
always have
lost
to
it.
go and I always go like a blank sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Because people always say, "So have you researched a company?" I say no. I said, because if I do that, then I'm going to come in with some preconceived idea. I
Yeah.
said, I want you to treat me like I'm a 5-year-old that doesn't know anything about what you do. And that takes any I don't want to research. I can't. And anyway, your website's
Research.
bullshit. All you say is the usual strap lines. We're our values, our missions.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah.
horseshit. At the end of the day, what you're really saying is we want to sound nice. We're trying to take your money. That's all it means. Yeah. So no research. But you're right. Whenever you fuck up, you can always figure out why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't get a deal and you haven't fucked up, it's because it wasn't meant to be the outcome.
Exactly.
A lot of salespeople don't see that. Everyone we meet's got to buy from us. No, you don't have to sell to everyone. Just because someone needs what you have, if they can't afford it, it's over. Yeah, they need what I have, but they don't want to invest the time, and then it's over. Yeah, so you can meet people that need what you have, but there are various reasons why it's not going to work. So I don't have to sell to you. So yeah, but if you get to the end and you realize it's your mistake, you fix it. But if you just go back and do the same thing again and keep whinging, it doesn't work, then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes back to that accountability piece.
Yeah.
Benjamin, I reckon we could, we love you. We've been
Oh,
big
fuck you, we've been
fans
doing this for ages.
for a long, long time. You're the go.
Flown by.
Yeah, we could.
It has. I know. It's an hour
Um,
and 40 minutes. It's unbelievable.
Can we get one last piece to camera from you saying why people should buy your stuff?
Well, you shouldn't because I'm expensive. And what I teach is hard, time consuming, and really hard to get. And most of you don't want to do it because most of you don't want to be in sales. If you're still buying that lotto ticket, hoping that you can get out of this, then I'm not really for you. I buy a lotto ticket, but it's just so I can piss off everyone I know. And I'm never going to win. I know that. I know the odds. But no, seriously, honestly, only work with me if you actually want to be in sales and you want to treat it like a profession. You want to be in control and you want consistency. But it's not easy. It's really hard. And it's not hard to understand what I teach. It's just hard doing it. And that's the hardest bit. So, yeah, like I say, reach out. Actually, you got to book a call. I charge. So many people want to talk to me. You have to pay to talk to me now. That's how good I've got. People pay to talk to me. And even if I don't work with them, I still be paid to tell them I don't want to work with you. So you can all get there. I'm the only sales trainer I know that charges for this. I see all these sales trainers, all these gurus. Book a meeting. It's free. What the fuck? I get people say, well, don't you exclude 85? You must be losing a lot of business. No, the people that don't book are broke.
They were
Why would I
never
want
gonna
them?
buy.
Yeah, why would I buy them? I'm pre-qualifying people. I know when someone pays to talk to me, what they're saying is, I know we need help. We just don't know if you're the guy. And I don't either. But I'm not wasting my time having a nice hour chit-chat with someone to figure that out. My time is way more important. I have way less time than money. Put it that way. So I don't need your money. I need my time. So if you want my time, you're going to pay for it.
There you
Beautiful.
go. Benjamin
Beautiful.
Dennehy, the go.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
You're
much,
welcome,
sir.
guys. It's a pleasure as ever. So who's buying lunch?